Good afternoon and welcome to Independence High School for this historic matchup between two first-year boys volleyball programs in number 4 Chardon playing host to Independence in their home gym. The number 5 Blue Devils are also here in the Division II Region 7 championship match. My name is Steve Hare with OhioVarsity.com, and we're going to be live streaming this historic match for you. All that's at stake is a trip to the state Final Four next week in the Dayton area out at Wittenberg College. First up, we've got the visiting team, even though they're playing on their home court. Head coach Lexi Procopius from Independence High School, being helped out by her sister, Callie Procopius. Between the two of these players from Independence High School, they've won 5 regional championships. So they know what it takes to be successful in those big matches. Lexi coming in this time as a coach, how different is it for you?
Honestly, it feels the same just because I'm so into it as a coach, and even as a player, I was always ready to play, and I'm excited to see what these boys are going to do today, and hopefully they come ready to work.
You came in, this is a first-year program. How did you kind of go about putting it all together? I mean, you didn't know what position these kids play. Most of them have never played volleyball before, so not only did you have to teach them the game, but you had to kind of install a game plan. How did that all come together to lead you to this moment?
I think, honestly, when they all got more comfortable with each other and they were comfortable with holding each other accountable, I kind of was able to take a step back and let them coach each other, and then I was able to then give them pointers. But once they got comfortable with the sport, it just made it so much easier for their confidence.
I was here for the first match, and I thought they looked pretty good then, but then I was here for your first playoff game last week, and what a different team it looked like. I mean, how proud of you are you of their growth as a team this year?
Honestly, I never really, this is awful to say, but I never really thought that we were going to even get to this point, to see everyone gelling well, to see everything just working, all the things that I've taught them, and even things that I haven't taught them, they're bringing to the court. I'm like, wow, keep doing that. I'm just, I don't know, I'm starstruck.
Coming out, I know a lot of your athletes, but everything runs through Christian Tripodi, an All-Ohioan, honorable mention All-Ohioan, first-team All-Region player in his first year on the court. Talk about what he brings to the team.
Cubby, playing JO before actually helped a lot, just because he understood the game, and he never set before either. So I put him in this role thinking, or knowing that he will thrive, and he will bring the team together, and he will help the team. He will be the coach on the court. So just him being able to set the ball and help each other, help each player out, also helps a lot too.
You've got 2 very dynamic front row players in Wyatt Snyder and Landon Jatzik. Talk about that dynamic duo and what they bring to the net.
Oh my gosh, Landon came in from basketball. I never saw him before, and he just came in, and he came in hitting the 10-foot line basically, and I had to fix a couple of things, but he was a natural volleyball player. Same thing with Wyatt. Wyatt, he has the mentality of a good athlete, and he can, if he wants to do it, he can.
And then the other thing I'm really impressed with is your service. You've had a lot of kids go on long service runs. Is that the way it started, or did they just kind of develop that skill?
Right off the bat, I kind of went over passing and serving, because that's probably the most important parts of volleyball. Them being able to serve and concentrate on the serve helps a lot too. So.
All right. So before I let you go and get back to your team, what's it going to take today for you guys to punch your ticket to the state Final Four?
We got to work hard and play harder.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for being here. Congratulations on getting your team here, and good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Lexi Procopius, the head coach of the Independence Blue Devils. Next up, we've got Brian Sutton, the head coach from Chardon, jumping in here, taking his spot here at on the hot seat. Coach Sutton, he's got the Hilltoppers here in their first year as well. They are 14-7, playing for a regional championship. Coach, congratulations on getting the team here. How exciting is it to see the growth out of your squad coming in to play for a regional title and a spot in the Final Four?
It's it's pretty amazing. They work so hard. There's not one guy on my team that's ever touched a volleyball until the second week of January on a Sunday, and we were able to rent out a gym for open gyms on a Saturday, and these guys have just grown and grown and grown, and it's crazy to see their potential. Like, the only thing I've realized is that the only thing I can't teach them is experience. And I mean, I got some seniors on this team that if I had them as a freshman, we'd be unstoppable. So it's just the growth in the matter of 3 months. Just it's the coolest thing in the world.
One of the nice things is, like, if you've been around the Chardon girls volleyball team, you know, they've played in some big matches and they've developed that big game mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids haven't had this experience before, so it's kind of a good thing and a bad. They're probably not as stressed out as they could be if they've been in this moment before.
Well, these guys are state championship baseball player, state championship football player, state championship swimmer, regional wrestler. These kids have been in a pressure situation like this, and I've thought about that today, and I go, that's going to help us, because they're not nervous. They're ready. They're ready to go, and you know, that I think could be an advantage. The fact that, you know, they're multi-sport players, and they've been in competitions like this. So, you know, I think that's you know, pretty cool.
Yeah, that definitely helps out the mental side of the game. Reading the News Herald preview yesterday, it sounds like Independence and Chardon are almost mirror images of each other. You have a pretty dynamic duo up front. How do you run your offense? Where does it all start? How does it roll? How do you flow everything through?
Yeah, I mean, we got weapons everywhere. We run a 5-1 with Juan, who's all the way from Argentina, foreign exchange student. He's a great kid. He came to me in February and said he wanted to be the setter. Been working with him as a setter. So, I mean, we got our outsides. You got the Smash brothers, Joe and Nolan, but then we also got the actual Galati brothers that are, you know what, 5'10", and they jump through the roof, and they're Ian, who's number 23, he's a freshman, and he puts the ball straight down on the 10-foot line. So, I mean, we got weapons. You know, we got both outsides. We got a weapon on the right side. We made some adjustments halfway through the season. Jackson was on our right side, where we made the adjustment and moved him to the middle, because he's got a very strong block, and it's quicker for him in the middle to block the outsides. And you know, and that's how, you know, we kind of focused and beat Berkshire, because we really, you know, Apollo, you know, Player of the Year for Region 7. You know, we sat on him, and we've got weapons all around. Yep. It's very proud.
Both teams came to this championship match by beating higher-seeded teams, so obviously both are eager to get out there. What's it going to take for your team to come out on top today?
They play their game. We had an amazing practice last night. They're excited. They're pumped, and you know, they play their game. We win. If they don't, you know, buckle under pressure, or, you know, if they get blocked, I tell them swing again. If somebody gets blocked or hits it out of bounds, set it to them again, because they will get that kill, and that's what's going to happen.
Outstanding. All right, Coach. Well, appreciate you joining us here pre-game, and best of luck to you and your squad today.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, next up, we're going to bring in Ben Hersick from the News Herald. He is the News Herald's boys volleyball. He also covers the girls volleyball scene for that Lake County area. Ben, thanks for being here. I know we talked a little bit earlier. You got to see Chardon earlier in the year. Give me a little scouting report. What did you see out of the Hilltoppers?
What's been interesting to see really is just how they're developing as a group. They've gone from a bunch of kids learning the game and figuring out how to actually play it to now being on the doorstep of a regional championship and a trip to the state tournament. You see guys like Joe Evans and Nolan Kirsch just taking it up like it's an old hobby of theirs, essentially, which has been really impressive to see.
And that's the one thing, like, I saw Independence earlier this year, and then I saw them last week for their first playoff game, and it was night and day. I mean, they were pretty good that first time I saw them, but now they look like they've been playing for a long time. That experience kind of brought them together. They started flowing the ball. You know, it wasn't just hitting it over, you know, any chance you got. They were actually setting up the offense and doing things like that, and I imagine that's what you've seen out of Chardon.
It really is, and especially because Chardon's starting to find, well, what they did was they found a guy who wants to be the out-assist guy, and Juan, I'm not going to try and say his last name because I know I'm going to mess it up, but he's been really strong in the assist category. A lot of these guys come in not knowing how to actually go through a whole point, essentially. Go from, okay, the ball's been served to us, how do we receive it, how do we set up for an attack, where now they're getting to the point where, okay, it's like this, we get to this situation, this is what we do. They're learning it just like that and picking it up right away, which is really impressive to see from both sides.
What's it going to take for Chardon to come out on top?
The thing is, I've noticed with Independence, at least looking from a stat-wise side, they're a very defensive sound team. They have a lot of guys who can get some dig, get some points, keep some rallies going. They need to have guys like Evans and Kirsch really having strong showings, and especially with what those two did against Berkshire in the district's regional semi, that shows how good they can be, and especially with what I was talking about it with Coach Sutton a little bit ago, their blocking is something he's been really impressed with, and if they can continue that blocking streak going against Independence, I think Chardon has a really good chance to kind of shut down their attacks early and get an early advantage.
All right, we've got about 5 minutes until this thing tips off. Go ahead and give me your prediction.
It's never easy. You look at these two, there's a lot that they've still gone through to develop and learn the sport and really become these strong volleyball players. I really like what Chardon's been doing this year. They've become a team that knows how to play the sport and learn from some really smart sides. I'd say Chardon in 4 feels like a safe bet. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 5, but 4 feels safe. Chardon in 4 would be my official prediction.
All right, Ben, I won't hold you to it, but I think it's as good of a prediction as any. Two unknowns here. It's 2 teams in their first year as programs, both playing for a spot in the Final Four. It's going to be fun. I know it's filled with athletes, and that's coming together as volleyball players. That's going to take a little bit longer, but when you've got kids like Chardon does jumping out of the gym, Independence has the same thing. So I think it's going to see who can get the block working, who can run the offense a little bit better. But it should be interesting. But I appreciate you joining us, and I'll see you after the match.
Sounds good, bud. Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Ben Hersick from the Lake County News Herald, kind of previewing the Chardon Hilltoppers a little bit. We've got, like I said, just a little bit, about 4 minutes and 20 seconds now until this thing's going to tip off. I am going to take a quick break here. We will let you listen into the team announcements and the national anthem, and then I will be back for the play-by-play along with a handful of the Blue Devils from the girls volleyball team who are going to join me on the broadcast to provide some color commentary. So we'll see you again in about 5 minutes. Thanks, folks. Good afternoon and welcome back to Independence High School for the 2023 Division II Region 7 Championship match between the number 4 seeded Chardon Hilltoppers and the number 5 Independence Blue Devils. I'm Steve Hare with OhioVarsity.com, and joining me on the broadcast are 3 Independence girls volleyball players to provide some color commentary. To my left is Sophia Pickert, a defensive specialist for the Blue Devils. In the middle is Anna Jermasik, another defensive specialist. And all the way to the left is Haley Wilson, a right side hitter. You'll hear from those ladies throughout the match as they provide some excellent color commentary to let us know what we're seeing on the court out of these 2 regional finalists. This match is brought to you by Christopher Tool and Manufacturing, and they are hiring. A family-owned business in Solon that has been manufacturing since 1951. Christopher Tool offers competitive wages and opportunities to advance your career. We manufacture complex parts mostly for the aerospace industry, but also for the space and defense and oil and gas drilling industries. To learn more, please visit www.christophertool.com. Ladies, back to you now. What are you guys looking forward to most in this championship match? I mean, your program has been in big matches, so playing for regional titles is nothing new to the Independence community. But this boys team started playing a couple of months ago. This is their first big match. How do you think they're going to handle the pressure?
I think they'll do great. I feel like they've had a lot of competitive games, and every single one they've played with all that they can.
Thank you, Haley. Anna, your thoughts?
They're pretty prepared. I think they have both coaches who have been through all this competition, so I think they're pretty prepared and they're ready for it.
All right, and there we go. The first point to the Blue Devils off the Landon Jacek block. 1-0 Independence. We are underway here in this 2023 Division II Region 7 Championship match. Cubby Tripodi on the serve. That's one thing I noticed too. I was here for Independence's first match, and these guys were serving at the line. The next time I came out for a playoff game, they're jump serving and doing all that crazy stuff. Sophia, have you seen that growth out of this team?
Yeah, they've grown a lot over the past couple months. They've really come together as a team and just are always there for each other.
Both teams are loaded with talent from other sports, so that helps. We got a double hit, and that's going to even up the score at 1-1. The Independent student section seemed to be a little bit confused there. They were cheering, but they didn't see the call. Nice effort there by Sonny Sears to dig that serve, that short serve. Noah Galati on the hit. Joseph Evans into the net. It's still alive. Tripodi setting up the offense. Sears sets back to Tripodi. Nice dig there from Nolan Kirsch, an all-region performer. We've got a net violation. Point to the Hilltoppers, who lead 2-1 here in this first set. Anna Jermasik, you're a defensive specialist. What do the Blue Devils have to do to right the ship here?
Blue Devils really have to stay on their feet, minimize the errors, but also communicate. So they cross over in the back row and always talking.
There's a point for the Blue Devils. Jacek got a little kill there that took Chardon out of its offense, a little bit out of the rhythm. So right now, Joey Jermasik back to serve for the Blue Devils. We are all tied up, 2-2. Juan Pinella on the set. Nice dig there by Sears. There's Snyder. Tries to find a hole in the middle, but Chardon's defense was there. Nice effort by Tripodi, but his free ball comes up short. Chardon takes the lead, 3-2. Khalil McDonald now in the game for Joey Jermasik. Ian Galati on the serve. Tripodi to the outside to Alex Eisenman. Joseph Evans on the block. It goes out of bounds. Hilltoppers lead 4-2 here in the first set. Hannah Wilson, talk about setting up the block here. What is Independence doing?
They just really need to make sure that they set themselves up in front of the ball and just block the ball. And it seems like they're doing a very great job of that so far.
Saw a block there by Jacek, and he follows it up with the left-handed hammer. Oh wait, they got a net violation. Point to the Hilltoppers. So big hit by Jacek doesn't count. It's 5-2 Chardon here in the early goings of this first set. Ian Galati on the serve. Sonny Sears. There's Wyatt Snyder. That one's not coming back. Point to the Blue Devils. What'd you like there, Haley Wilson?
He did a great job of hitting, not into the block, and I think that's something that he's improved on over this whole season.
Jacek on the serve, going back to the outside to Evans. Is that a net violation? What they call?
Under net.
Under the net? All right, so Chardon up 6-3 here in the first set of this Division II Region 7 Championship. The winner advances to the state Final Four next week in Dayton. Hit right over the block there. Noah Galati getting some air. It's 7-3 Chardon. Sophia, at what point do you start to panic? It's a long set, 25 points. Do you panic when it's 7-3?
No, they can come back, because if they get a good servicey pass and really communicate and get a good hit, they can come back one at a time. It's all mindset, really. So
Spicania, you saw him with the kill attempt earlier. He had the tip, but Chardon's defense was up to the challenge so far. Going to the outside to Kirsch. First team all-region performer this season. Snyder, oh, that was a little bit deep, but it was played by Evans. Free ball to the Blue Devils. Tripodi to Spicania. Nice block by the Blue Devils. Outside to Tripodi. Tripodi, an All-Ohio honorable mention selection this year. Oh, great up by Sonny Sears. Snyder keeps it alive. Oh, but look at the tap by Galati. Noah Galati with the finish. 8-3 Chardon here in the first set. We're going to have a timeout from the Blue Devils. All right, one of my defensive specialists. Independence is struggling to get the ball. Hey, Tim. Independence is struggling to get the ball back over. They're playing Chardon's defense is up to the challenge. What does Independence have to do to kind of right the ship there and set up their offense?
I think they just need to have a court awareness and really just communicate with each other and just focus on this one pass before they focus on the set or anything else, and really make sure they are communicating, because that's going to set them up for a good pass.
Anna Jamasic, who's running their offense a little bit better right now?
Definitely Chardon. They're a little bit like they're more controlled. Independence just needs to take a deep breath and focus on the first pass.
As players, when you're in a situation like this, it's early, you want to grab that early momentum, but you're trailing by 5. What do you say in that huddle?
Just like positive thoughts and just focus on one thing at a time, really.
Yeah, and you can't I feel like they're kind of letting the refs get in their heads right now because they've had a lot of calls that could be either way. So I think that they just have to forget about that stuff and focus on the game.
It's that mental aspect. And the good news is, like I said, most of these guys are athletes in other sports and they played in big games. So that kind of helps with the nerves. All right, that's a point to the Blue Devils. It's now 8-4 Chardon. Jamie Paniki back to serve for the Blue Devils, number 10. Nice little floating jump serve. Cody to Spicania, and he buries it. It wasn't quite like a Haley Wilson kill, but it'll do. 8-5 now, Chardon leads. Independence cutting that deficit just a little bit more. Paniki again to serve. Pinella tries to pop it over all by himself. And there's Spicania. Big hit right into the hand of Noah Galati. It comes back Independence's way. Galati with another block. That was a block by Spicania, but Kirsch's kill attempt is hit off of Spicania and out of bounds. That's a point for the Hilltoppers. 9-5 now. Chardon leads here in the first set. Looks like Nick Derzik is back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Taken by Sears. Cubby with the up, outside to Snyder. Handled there by Joseph Evans in the middle. And I think we're going to have a double hit there on Chardon. So now it's a point. Independence. 9-6. The Blue Devils trail with Wyatt Snyder at the service line. Into the net, Spicania hammers it home. Haley Wilson, when you get a ball like that, your eyes light up when you see that open court in front of you?
Yeah, sometimes I want to hit it, but I know it might be better just to tip it back over.
Yeah, the eyes light up a little bit. Outside to Kirsch, one of Chardon's top players. He's a first-team all-region performer. Kanea in the middle, and there's Jackson Hauser with the kill for the Hilltoppers, who now lead 10-7. Juan Pinea back to serve for the Hilltoppers. He is a first-team all-region performer as well. A lot of stars out on this court tonight, earning all-region and all-Ohio honors. Spicania goes a little bit too far looking for that back corner. 11-7, Chardon leads. hard are those balls to judge when they're coming toward that back line?
It's pretty hard. I think you just have to like talk to each other and make sure you follow it to the line. It's really going to help them make sure they do it every play.
All right, 12-7, Chardon leads. Going right back outside to Spicania. It's worked several times already. There's Kirsch again. Oh, the block! Spicania and Tripodi team up on that block. 12-8, Chardon's lead. Sonny Sears, an honorable mention, all-region selection back to serve. It's a good one. Panay out to the outside. Oh, look at the air. Ian Galati got some air. The ball goes out of bounds on the block. That's a point for the Hilltoppers, who lead 13-8. Haley, as a front row player, the block in the corner, those can be tricky.
Yeah, it's hard when it doesn't like go back on the other side. It's hard. It takes a lot of communication with your teammates.
Pineo with the foot, the kick to try to keep that ball alive, but that's going to be a point for the Blue Devils, who trail 13-9 here in the first set of this Division II Region 7 championship match. In front of a rambunctious crowd here, great student section by the Blue Devils. Tripodi to serve. Into the middle, but Jackson Hauser sends that one into the net. Point for the Blue Devils. This is the closest the match has been in quite some time. Just a 3-point deficit now for the Independence Blue Devils. They are the home team on the scoreboard, but they are actually the visitors today here on their home court. Nice up there by Bernstein. Free ball by Toronto. Noah Toronto tried to push it into the corner. There's going to be a point for the Blue Devils. to 11 now. Chardon leads. Tripodi, nice serve off a tape, and there's an ace. The crowd responding. And now can the Blue Devils capitalize off this newfound momentum? 13-12, the deficit is just one. Going outside to Evans. Great job there by Toronto. Oh, the block! Saved by Chardon. Free ball coming. No! We're all tied up. Anna Jermasic, how do we capitalize off this now for the Blue Devils? They've got a great run.
This is good for them. Their nerves, they come back strong. This really helps them. And Chardon's got to fight back if they really want to make it.
We've got a timeout for the Hilltoppers, who are looking to slow down this momentum, which gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsor, Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. Welcome back to Independence High School. Division II, Region 7 championship match. We are all tied up, 13-13. Independence holds the serve. Cubby Tripodi in the back corner. Floater off the fingertips of Kirsch. Free ball coming back over the net. Jackson tee it up. Independence with its first lead of the match. It is 14-13 Blue Devils. Haley Wilson, did they just tee that ball up for Landon Jacek or what?
Yeah, basically.
That's the risk of those free balls.
Yeah.
He's going to try it again. This time Jacek goes a little bit long. We're all tied up once again, 14-14. Jackson Hauser back to serve for Chardon. Hilltoppers are coached by Brian Sutton. Lexi Procopius is Independence's head coach. Service error Independence back on top. Joey Jermasik back to serve for the Blue Devils, who now lead 15-14. That's just our third lead change of this match. We are in the first set. Oh, that one wasn't coming back over the net. Ian Galati with the hammer. Haley has a right side. You like that back corner too, right? Going right down the line.
Yeah.
How hard is that to defend?
It's very hard. It confuses the libero a lot.
Sears pops it up to Tripodi. There's Snyder from the back line. Great up by Kirsch. Oh, right into the corner. Joseph Evans shows why he was a second-team All-Region performer. Looked like that ball had eyes to find that corner. Galati, Ian Galati back to serve. I've got to remember we've got the Galati brothers out there. Oh, Landon Jacek, how are you today? Jacek has come alive for the Blue Devils. That's a bad sign for Chardon. He is the goalkeeper for the Independence boys soccer team and a heck of a basketball player. He knows his way around the rim, and he's showing you he can play volleyball as well. Spacagna goes a bit outside, Independence looking for the touch. I think it was clean. Chardon back on top, 17-16. Spacagna again, it's tipped at the net. Going outside to Kirsch, blocked by Spacagna and Eisenman. Wyatt Snyder, what a great play there. Got a nice volley going here. Spacagna goes up for the tip of Pinella. Tripodi with the up, out to Steers, looking for Tripodi again. Galati receives that one well. We've got a point for the Blue Devils. 17-17. Now it seems the momentum is stabilized. Chardon had it early. Independence caught fire for a few minutes. Now we've been going back and forth. When you're in a match like this and the pressure starts to mount, what do you guys say to each other on the court?
Just keep going and keep on doing what we're doing, keeping high energy and continuing on, just like talking to one another and don't relax.
Caught a bad break there. Spacagna hits into the net and it spins off and goes out of bounds. Chardon leads 18-17. Nick Derzik back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Outside to Snyder. Pinella takes it himself. McDonald with the attempt, but that's a point for Chardon. As I cover volleyball games, it's a race to 20. Once you get to 20, you're kind of in control. Do you guys feel that on the court?
Yeah.
19-18. Toronto in for McDonald, and we got Snyder back to serve for the Blue Devils. Evans, there's Kirsch. Sears gets a hand on it. Snyder sends it back to the middle, and Sears with the free ball over the top. Pinella into the middle to Hauser. Hauser takes it a little bit long. 19-19, and now that race for 20 becomes very interesting. Usually when someone hits 20, the other team calls timeout. Will we see it today?
I bet we will.
Outside to Kirsch, gets blocked. Spacagna pulls it up again. Tripodi with the free ball over. Galati to Pinella. And there's Kirsch, blocked again by Spacagna. Noah Toronto couldn't clean it up. And that's the point for the Hilltoppers, who now lead 20-19. Panea back to serve, a first-team All-Region performer. Sears to the middle to Tripodi. Outside to Spicania. Oh, and he goes into the net. A hitting error gives Chardon a 21-19 lead. High floating serve. Oh, we're going to have a net violation there. Took them a while to call that one. It's now 22-19, and here comes the timeout for the Independence Blue Devils. Chardon leads 22-19. What's it going to take? It's 3 points away for Chardon to win the set. Independence needs 6. What does your coach say in the huddle?
You know, you got to regain your focus, regain everything that you just have to, like, relax.
All right.
Oh, I
Go
was
ahead,
going to say, I just think that they have to, like, forget about the errors and say that the score is 0-0 and just kind of start and just push the next 6 points.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think you can look at it as, oh, we're down 6, and you don't want to do that. You start to panic those points, just 1 point at a time, and roll with it. All right, here we go. The Hilltoppers lead 22-19, and they hold the serve. Panea still serving for Chardon. That high floater. Sears in the middle. Jamie Paniki out to Tripodi. Galati, free ball over the top. Tripodi looking for Spicania, and he tips it over. Nice play by Galati. Spicania in the middle. Hauser got a hand on it, and here comes Kirsch. And he goes out of bounds. Point Independence. It's 22-20, Chardon in the lead. Sonny Sears back to serve for the Blue Devils. Galati from the outside. Oh, he gets that shooter's roll. It hits the tip of the tape. And onto the floor, it's 23-20. Kirsch back to serve for Chardon. Jackson with a little bit of luck on his left-handed slap. Again, both teams playing that net favorably. You get that little tip off the net, it certainly helps matters.
Yep.
Tripodi back to serve for the Blue Devils, trailing 23-21. Panea serves this one to the outside. Galati saves it. Jacek with the left hand. Panea out to the outside. That one hits the antenna. Independence point. It's 23-22. And I think we're getting a timeout from Chardon, which will give us a time to thank our sponsor, Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. Okay, welcome back, folks. We are here at Independence High School for the Division II Region 7 Championship match. This is a boys volleyball match between two first-year programs, both vying for a spot in the state Final Four next weekend. Chardon, the number 4 seed, leads number 5 Independence 23-22 here in the first set. The Blue Devils hold serve. Christian Tripodi trying to tie things up. Mela to the outside. Great up by Sonny Sears. Toronto with the right hand. Fielded by Chardon. Outside to Tripodi. Great play there by Kirsch to get that up. Oh, but Jackson drops that one in. We're all tied up, folks, 23-23. Tripodi on a service run here for the Blue Devils. Up by Kirsch, Pinella, and there's Galati, and he gives Chardon the 24-23 lead. Chardon with the first set point of this match. It is 24-23, and we got Hauser back to serve for the Hilltoppers. You must win by 2, folks. And there's the hammer by Joseph Evans to end this first set. Chardon wins 25-23 and leads 1-0. Haley, offensively, I think Independence kind of struggled to find that flow. How do you change that?
I think that they could talk with their setter, Cubby, just about like connecting with them and even just like focusing on the little things and staying out of the net, because I feel like that was a big factor, especially in the beginning of the set.
Anna, as a defensive specialist, what did you like out of Chardon's unit there? They were pretty good getting some balls up off the floor, keeping plays alive.
They're very scrappy. They're all over the ground. You know, they're just making sure that the ball just doesn't die.
Sophia, what can Independence do to tighten up some of the holes that Chardon found on their end?
I think it's just mostly like communication, making sure they follow it to the line, and then just like talking it out after a mistake happens, so then they know what happens, to what they can do next time to limit that mistake.
All right, and once again, folks, this broadcast is brought to you by Christopher Tool and Manufacturing in Solon, and they are hiring. A family-owned business in Solon that has been manufacturing since 1951. Christopher Tool offers competitive wages and opportunities to advance your career. We manufacture complex parts, mostly for the aerospace industry, but also for the space and defense and oil and gas drilling industries. To learn more about Christopher Tool and Manufacturing, visit ChristopherTool.com. Folks, I'm Steve Hare with Ohio Varsity, bringing this production to you today. Peter Tellup from LPV Productions is our producer. AJ Marcinko on the camera, Jackson Hare, production assistant, and of course our 3 color commentators, 3 Independence girls volleyball players, Haley Wilson, Anna Jermasik, and Sophia. I don't know why I can never remember her last name. Pickert. I was so close. She has told me her last name like 4 times, and I just can't seem to remember. So you guys have been in this situation before. You've lost the first set. You come back. How do you shake it off?
You just have to kind of just forget about it and just remember that there's 4 more set opportunities to win. And yeah, you just have to get and communicate that with your team too if anyone is down about it, or yeah.
Anna, Independence has communicated pretty well. You haven't seen them drop their heads. They stayed in the game. They were down big early in that first set. How do they change that and just kind of take the momentum and never let it go?
Well, they just gotta like.
It's like, honestly, just like
Sophia with the bailout. Go ahead, Sophia.
it's just like mindset. Like you can tell like they lift each other up on the court, and I think that's like a big part of how they came back. They really like pushed each other and made sure like if one person made a mistake, they would push the other person to like not make the mistake anymore and just like come back.
Okay, here we go. Second set just about to begin here in this Division II Region 7 championship match. The winner will advance to the state tournament. The Final Four will begin on May 27th at Wittenberg University. To get here, Chardon defeated number 3 Bard Early College 3-0, and then they went on and upset number 2 Berkshire 3-1. Independence also pulled off an upset on the way to its regional championship appearance. Independence opened the postseason with a 3-0 win over Perry, and then they knocked off the #1 seed VASJ in the regional semifinals to earn their shot at the state Final Four. This is one thing that, as I cover volleyball matches, I never understand why there's this long delay. What is that? What happens during this time where nobody seems to know what's going on?
I don't know. It could just be like the down ref is telling the coaches something that bothered them the last set. I'm not sure though. But normally they're checking rotations and making sure that everyone's in the right spot.
What have we seen out of Chardon's offense? What are they running?
It doesn't seem like they're running anything crazy. It just seems like they're getting up like through our block and just like jumping very high.
Coach Sutton said they run a 5-1 typically.
Yes. So do we, I think.
Tripodi going to the corner, and it falls. Evans tried to get the ball up in the air. Independence leads 1-0 here in the second set. Tripodi back to serve. He had a nice service run in that first set, but his second serve goes into the net. Point for Chardon. And now Nolan Kirsch back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Snyder up to Tripodi. Jacek with that left hand. That's tricky when you get those lefties. You're so used to seeing those right-handed swings, and then you get this guy swinging left-handed. Tripodi back to the middle. There's Jermasic. Yeah, with the free ball. And that one does go out. Coach Prokopius was beside herself thinking Wyatt Snyder was going to go for that ball. The look of relief after he let it go. Jermasic back to serve for the Blue Devils, who lead 2-1. Paneo back set to Galati. Nice up by Tripodi. Hauser over to Evans. And Jacek sent it back. That's what happens when you get mail that doesn't belong to you. You write on it, return to sender. 2-2 here, early part of the second set. And there's an ace for the Blue Devils. Oh, they changed the score. It was 3-1, now it's 4-1 Independence. They're putting the score on the wrong side, that's what it is. I believe it is 4-1. I just think they have, this is the confusing part. Independence is the visiting team playing at home, but they did decide to give them the home spot on the scoreboard, so it isn't confusing. So now we've got it corrected. It is 4-1 Independence. Joey Jermasic back to serve for the Blue Devils. Nice serve, a lot of top spin on that one. Evans, Sears tried to get it up, but no dice there. It's 4-2. Independence in the lead. Chardon serve. Looks like it's going to be Hauser. Hauser back to serve for the Hilltoppers, who lead this match 1-0. The trail in the second set. It is now 5-2 Independence. Landon Jacek back to serve. Landon Jacek, one of the best athletes here at Independence. Great goalkeeper for the soccer team and fun guy to watch on the basketball court. He just earned the Blue Devils a point. 6-2. Ladies, I've got to say, the student section rivals what you guys see for your matches. Nice showing by your classmates.
Yes. I do think that they could do a couple more cheers, though. They haven't been doing anything.
Nice block there in the middle. I believe that was Snyder. Jacek back to serve with a 7-2 lead. Tripodi set into the middle to Spicania. Noah Galati got a hand on it, but it falls and hits the floor. Independence leads 8-2. Jacek with a floater. Panea to the inside, and that's Galati, and he pushes it out of bounds. The Blue Devils lead 9-2. Got to imagine we're going to see a timeout if Independence scores another point. You don't want these runs to get too big.
Yeah.
Galati just tattooed McDonald in the chest, and that probably prevented a timeout. It's 9-3. Independence leads. Ian Galati back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Kanya, with the tip, and he goes just outside the line. 9-4, Independence leads. I also want to give a shout out to Macy McGee, who's on the camera for me today, the photography camera, so we can get some photos of this historic match between two first-year programs playing for a regional title and a spot in the state Final Four. Outside to Evans, but he's met by a wall of Blue Devils. That was Spicania and Alex Eisenman on the block. Here comes one of those cheers from the student section. How much does that help you guys get into a rhythm when your classmates are there cheering for you?
I would say it really motivates us to keep going and just like keep our energy high.
Gives you a little bit of a home court advantage.
Yeah.
Tripodi tried to get that one a tip over that block, but it came right back at him. It's 10-5, Independence leads. Jamie Paniki entering the match in place of Braden Lazowski. Joseph Evans over there talking to the referee. Probably making a lunch order or something like that. Evans back to serve now. Tripodi outside to Spicania. He gets it to go off at the hands of Galati. Independence up 11-5. Here comes Joey Jermasic in place of Khalil McDonald. Snyder back to serve for the Blue Devils. Evans on the serve receive. And how about Noah Galati going up for the kill? Noah Galati and his brother Ian Galati are not the tallest guys on the court, but they get some air, and that helps your offense. 11-6 now, Independence in the lead. That is Nick Derzick back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Inside to Spicania. He gets a tip, and that one goes out of bounds. Point, Independence. Jacek back in for Spicania. You want to have Jacek up on that front row, every opportunity to get. These two teams are almost mirror images of themselves. They have some dynamic hitters in the front row, play a very solid defense. 13-6, Sonny Sears serving for the Blue Devils. Derzick. Panea with the push to the back corner. He gets that one to fall. Chardon hanging in there in this second set. They lead the match 1-0, but Independence leads here in the second, 13-7. Jacek floated up in the air. Gets that one to fall. It's 14-7 Independence. Eisenman back in for Paniki. Tripodi back to serve. Nathan Bernstein man in the back middle. Hauser blocked by Jacek. Eisenman with a nice play to keep it alive. Sears gets it to go over. Hauser tried one of those hook shots, but it went in the net, and Independence leads 15-7. Haley, have you seen a big difference out of Independence's offense this time around?
Yes, I do feel like this set, especially, they're playing a lot more aggressive, but also just like from the start of the year, they've all become learned how to just get on top of the ball and hit into the court.
There's Kirsch into the block of Jacek and Eisenman. And then off the face of Jermasic, point Chardon. Independence leads 15-8. Kirsch on the serve. Bernstein's with the up. Jacek in the middle. Kirsch with a nice up there. And now Evans a little bit too strong on that one. Looking for the back corner. Independence leads 16-8. Biggest lead of the match. Jermasic back to serve. And that's going to go out of bounds. Point for the Hilltoppers, 16-9. Hauser back to serve. Independence's back row. You've got McDonald. You've got Sears. You've got Snyder. Front row is Eisenman, Tripodi, and Jacek. Another service error. Back-to-back errors. One for each team. Jacek up to serve for the Blue Devils, who lead 17-9. Nice up by Derzik. There's Galati. That was the block by Snyder, goes out of bounds. He believes it went off the shoulder of a Chardon player. Referee disagreed. Galati back to serve for the Hilltoppers, who trail 17-10. Wow, that's 3 service errors in our last 4. Is that a mental thing?
Yes. Volleyball's a very mental sport, so you just gotta you gotta be strong throughout.
Wazowski in for Eisenman, and he will serve. Kirsch with the up. Galati goes a little bit too deep. That is Noah Galati on the kill attempt. It is 19-10. Independence leads here in the second set. They do trail the match 1-0. Wazowski, nice service. Kirsch with the up. Panea to the outside. Joseph Evans. He had a big first set, but in this second set, Evans has had a couple of unforced errors. We've got a timeout for Chardon. Independence leads 20-10. Haley, as a hitter, you saw Evans had a great first set. He's had a couple of errors here. How do you shake yourself out of that?
I think for me, I always make sure to ask my teammates to talk to me throughout the game, when I'm going up to swing, tell me what's open on the court. But also in my head, I just tell myself I got the next one and it's fine.
Sophia, you've been pretty quiet lately. What's going on here? What have you seen out of Chardon's defense? They were pretty clean in the first set. This time around, a few more mistakes.
I feel like they're kind of second guessing each other because the lead is pretty big right now. It's 20-10, but I think if they really just communicate, they can come back. But our momentum is pretty good right now, and they're really pushing through the set.
All right, here we go. Second set, Chardon won the first. The Hilltoppers lead 1-0, but Independence is leading this set here 20-10. Wazowski with the serve, going to Evans, and there's the block by Spicania and Tripodi. To Galati in the middle. Boy, that Independence defense certainly tightened up. Chardon had found some holes in that first set. I think we've got a net violation here on Independence. 20-11, Chardon. Anna, do you agree with my assessment? Independence's defense has tightened up?
Yes, they're all over the court, crossing each other, making sure no ball drops.
Evans on the serve, McDonald with the up. Set out to Spicania, it's returned by Kirsch. Tripodi out to Spicania again, and he pushes that one out of bounds. Spicania's had a big match. He's had a couple of those little floaters that he pushed out of bounds. He's got to clean that up. He's going to get a chance here. Right into the block of Galati. It's 20-13 now. Independence leads. Evans back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Sears on the up to Tripodi, to the outside to Snyder. Evans on the reception. Out to Kirsch. He's going to get that one. Oh, McDonald with a great play. Spicania couldn't get it to fly over the net. Chardon closes the gap. The Hilltoppers trail 20-14. Evans with the short serve, diving effort by McDonald. And here comes a timeout by Independence. We're now starting to see those chins drop a little bit. Some of these unforced errors, the Blue Devils are starting to feel that. Chardon just closed the gap. It was a 8-point lead. It's now 20-15. Independence in the lead. Any of the three of you, how do you get out of this? You went into the huddle. A couple heads are hanging now. How do you get out of it?
I feel like they kind of got relaxed when they noticed the lead was so big, but I feel like right now they just need to like focus on like minimizing the errors and just like really just think about first pass and then get the set, then put the ball down.
Sophia, you talked about the mental game. What can coach do in that huddle to change things mentally?
Just kind of like assign each person something they can like work on to keep their head out of like their mistakes and just focus on that one thing they can do better throughout the next couple points.
All right, here we go. Independence leads 20-15. Evans back to serve. But we've got a object on the court. Paniki didn't throw it far enough away. Schneider goes over to clean up the mess. That's what teammates are for. It's always something. All right, here we go. Joseph Evans on the serve. Sears with the up to Tripodi. He's looking for Snyder on the outside. Nice return by Kirsch. Free ball by Panea. Sears to Tripodi to Spicania. Blocked by Kirsch. That's a point for the Hilltoppers. Spicania, he is having a great little run there, and now he's in his own head a little bit, I think. Just got to feed him one time, get him a kill to get his rhythm back. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked like a lot of touches. Galati with a tip by Spicania. Tripodi over to Snyder. Galati on the reception. Panea to the outside to Kirsch. The block by Spicania and Tripodi. But they called a net violation. It is 20-17. Now that independent student section needs to get back up on its feet. They're standing, but they're quiet. There's Spicania. 21-17. He gets one to go down. Jermasic in for McDonald. Snyder back to serve. Jerzik on the reception. Here's Kirsch to the middle. Sears with a nice up. Tripodi to Spicania. Galati on the reception. Panea out to the outside to Kirsch. And we're going to get a double hit. Independence leads now 22-17. Wyatt Snyder back to serve. Blue Devils trying to even up this match. Using that tape again. Outside to Kirsch. He opted for a tap over the net. And there's Spicania. Another kill. He gets the touch to go out of bounds. Haley as a hitter. That's 2 in a row for him now. Is he back?
Yeah, I think he is.
23-17, Blue Devils lead. Tripodi to Spicania. Nice block by Galati. Sears, Tripodi pushes it over. Panea does the same. Spicania again. There he is. Joey Spicania showing why he was a first team all-region selection. He gives the Blue Devils a 24-17 lead. Snyder trying to finish it off. Panea outside to Kirsch. He gets the touch. Snyder with a heck of an effort to keep that ball alive. Side out for Chardon. Hilltoppers cut the deficit to 24-18. Independence with a set point here. Derzik back to serve. Paniki with the up over the net. Panea outside to Kirch. And that's outside. Independence wins the second set, 25-18. The Blue Devils have evened this match up 1-1, 25-18, the final score of that second set. We'll move to the third, all tied up 1-1. But first, let's hear from our sponsor, Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. Okay, welcome back, folks. We are here at Independence High School for the 2023 Division II Region 7 championship match between two first-year boys volleyball programs. Number 4, Chardon, won the first set. Number 5, Independence, won the second. We are all tied up 1-1. I'm Steve Hare with Ohio Varsity, and joining me here in our makeshift booth in the bleachers, I've got 3 Independence girls volleyball players providing color analysis for us. Haley Wilson, Sophia Pickert. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got it right. And Anna Jermasik. All right, ladies, here's your chance. Give us some color commentary. It's 1-1. You've seen the momentum from each team swing back and forth. How do you get that momentum in the third set and maintain it?
I think just like being with your team and like all being excited and like I don't know, just like supporting each other and like yeah.
Anna, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, they just got to stay consistent and just keep up with their energy, momentum.
Sophia?
I think honestly just like limiting their mistakes and kind of letting them like limit their mistakes, but having the like having and being aggressive and having the good amount of energy. Yeah.
All right. When you look at Chardon, what has been the key to their success in winning that first set and then coming back from a pretty big hole in the second?
Well, I feel like that they just like know that they want to go for every play. They don't want to let the ball drop. They'll go for everything, and then like they do a great job of setting up their hitters and just like putting them into great positions.
Anna, what have you seen out of the Blue Devils?
Well, we're communicating very well. You know, we're all over the court, and our block touches, I think, have been pretty good helping us out.
Sophia, you're a defensive specialist. I said in the first set, Independence had some pretty big holes that Chardon was finding. How did they clean that up?
I think the touches on the net is really helping, and you can see like the DSs are almost adjusting to where the hitter's hands like going, so that's helping them out a lot.
All right, folks, here we go. 0-0 here in third set. Each team has won a game. It's 1-1. All that's on the line here is a trip to the state Final Four next week at Wittenberg University. A lot of pressure in this match for two first-year programs. The good news is both teams have athletes from other sports. Coach Sutton talked earlier. They've got state champion baseball players, state champion football players. Independence has Landon Jatzik, Wyatt Snyder. These kids have all played other sports. Khalil McDonald, as small as he is a dynamic soccer player. So they've been in some big games before. They know what it takes. And I think you're seeing that athleticism from both sides kind of take over. And the volleyball just kind of follows suit naturally. I'm losing my voice already. It's crazy. It's only the second set. Well, now it's the third, but I might not be able to talk by the fourth set. Which might be a good thing. Here we go. Nolan Kirch starts things off for Chardon. Snyder with the up. Tripodi. Oh, we got some hands over the net. That's a point for the Blue Devils. Eisenman in for Paniki. Cubby Tripodi back to serve. In a story on the volleyball team last week, I called Cubby, I called him Marky, which is his older brother. I do that from time to time. It's a kill for the Hilltoppers to tie things up in the early goings of this third set. It's 1-1. And the match also is 1-1. Derzik serves for Chardon. Outside to Jermasik. Panea to the inside to Galati. Nice up. Tripodi with the free ball over. Panea outside to Evans. Sears back to Tripodi. That's the old give and go. Nice diving effort by Kirsch to get that ball back up in the air. Independence point. Blue Devils lead 2-1. Folks, stick with us after the match. We will have a coach and a player from the winning team join us for a post-game wrap-up. Jermasik serve out to Galati. Steers with the up to Tripodi. Jacek going back corner, and it goes out of bounds. 2-2 here, tied up in this third set. McDonald in for Jermasik. And that is Ian Galati back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Sears with the up. Jacek out to Snyder. Paneo rushes back to Evans. McDonald with the up. Tripodi looking for Snyder. Snyder hits into the block. Oh, we've got a chance for a point. Oh, great job by Kirsch to get that free ball back. Not this time, though. Oh, Eisenman's feeling it. Landon Jacek with that left hand. Defensive specialist. Anna Sophia, is it different when that ball comes over from a left-hander?
Yes, it is.
Kanye with the free ball over. Panea looking for Evans. Evans right in front of Jacek. He tried to lift it up off the court, but that ball was destined to hit the floor. 3-3, Hilltopper serve. Evans back to serve. McDonald up to Tripodi. Here's Snyder from the middle. Panea outside to Kirsch. Kirsch with the left hand, and it is out of bounds. Independence back on top, 4-3. The Blue Devils jumped out to a big lead early in the second set. Right now we've gone back and forth, each team matching the other point for point. The Blue Devils with an advantage here. And that's Paniki with the service. Hauser tries to get that easy one, but Tripodi was there. Now he's going to try and deliver the kill. A great up by Galati. And we've got a net violation on Hauser. Point, Blue Devils. Paniki looking for his second straight service point. Blue Devils lead 5-3. Galati with the up. Panea to the middle to Hauser. Paniki up. Here's Snyder going to the back corner. Derzik with the up. And that is Kirsch. Spokane tried to rapid fire it back over the net. Point, Hilltoppers. Independence leads 5-4. Hauser back to serve. We are tied 1-1 here in this third set. Spokane with the tip. Galati outside the Kirsch. Paniki with the up. Tripodi works his way. And there's Snyder. Panea all the way to the outside to Kirsch. Kirsch goes a little bit too long, seeking that back corner. It's 6-4 Independence. Wyatt Snyder back to serve. Evans with the up. Panea looking for Derzik in the middle. That one hits the net tape. Tripodi with the up. Instead of carry?
I think the libero, Sonny. I think he set it in front of the 10-foot line, which you can't do.
Oh, okay. Here's Panea back to serve. Chardon trails 5-6. Tripodi with the back set to Spicagna. Nice up by Evans. Panea to Galati. Galati with a tap down. It wasn't his biggest kill of the day, but it certainly counted for the same amount of points. We're all tied up 6-6. Very impressed by the Galata brothers and their ability to jump and put the ball down. Tripodi with the back set to Spicagna. Galati to the middle to his brother. That was outside to Toronto, who pushes the free ball over. Outside to Kirsch. We get a tip from Spicagna. Chardon with the lead, 7-6. This is the third set. Each team has claimed one. So we're tied in the match 1-1, and Chardon leads in the third set, 7-6. Sears up to Tripodi, and there's Toronto blocked. There's that big front wall we've heard about from Chardon. The Hilltoppers now lead 8-6. Coach Brian Sutton wearing the buffalo plaid shorts for the Hilltoppers. Panea goes outside to Kirsch. And it's hit, but it doesn't matter. It hit the court anyway. 9-6, Chardon on top. Joey Jermasic in for Noah Toronto. Panea still back to serve for the Hilltoppers. High floating serve. Paniki with the back set to Tripodi. Galati, Sears with the up. There's Tripodi, but Kirsch got the better of Tripodi on that one, and he wins the point for the Hilltoppers. It's 10-6, Chardon. Oh boy, you can't see that ball up for Kirsch. We're gonna have a timeout for Independence. It's 11-6, Chardon. Haley, we talked about this earlier, but as a hitter, when you get a free ball that just kind of floats, your eyes light up, and most of the time, the players will hammer it home, but it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, it's definitely not, because there's definitely times where you could hit it straight down, or it'll just like go way out of bounds, or not go over at all. But yeah.
Chardon won the first set, closely contested match. Independence jumped out to a huge lead in the second set. Chardon closed the gap, but the Blue Devils finished it off to tie the match 1-1. We were going point for point here until it was 6-6, and then Chardon has gone on a 5-point run here. They lead in the third set, 11-6. The Hilltoppers have a assistant coach, Emma McCartney, who is a dynamic player for the Chardon girls team. She was the 2022 Ohio Varsity Player of the Year. Oh, what an ironic situation. Haley Wilson on the broadcast was the Ohio Varsity Freshman of the Year. So the two Player of the Years for Ohio Varsity are both here today in this big match for the boys. Spicagna into the block of Kirsch. Sears there to clean up the mess. Free ball by Jermasic. Outside to Kirsch. Spicagna returns that one, and he's fired up. Spicagna takes a seat on the bench as he was due to serve, but he's a front row player. Jack takes his place. Sonny Sears in to serve for the Blue Devils, trailing 11-7. Panea back set to Kirsch, and he goes into the net. It is 11-8. Chardon leads here in the third set. We're all tied up 1-1. Sears, what do we call that, an 11-9 now. Chardon leads. Nice floating serve. Galati to the middle to his brother. Free ball. Tripodi looking for Jacek. Looking for Jacek again, and he delivers. Jacek closes the gap. It's 11-10. Chardon leads here in the third set of the match, which is tied up 1-1. Sears back to serve. Oh, and that one falls a little bit short. Service error gives Chardon a 12-10 lead. What was the theme of the student section? Was it Old Man at the Beach? Roy Corrigan wearing the fedora and the old man shorts?
I thought it was just white out, but I don't know.
I saw on Twitter it was supposed to be construction.
Oh, I think they switched it. I'm not sure.
All right, 12-11 after that point. Jacek on the kill. Tripodi back to serve. Nice jump serve. And there's Jacek again! He's all fired up. Landon Jacek back-to-back kills, ties this set 12-12. Tripodi back to serve. Kirsch with the up. Panea to the outside to Evans. And he's blocked by Jacek and Eisenman. The Blue Devils back with the momentum. Back sets to Galati. Galati, Eisenman with the up. Jacek with the tip over with the left hand. Tripodi back to Jacek. He's looking for a hold, but Galati was there. Kirsch with the tip, and it falls. Sonny Sears with a diving effort, just out of his reach. It's 13-13. Derzik in to serve for Chardon. 13-13. Tripodi gets back to the middle, free ball by Jacek. Derzik with the up to Panea, back sets to Galati. Into the block for Jermasik, but it falls on the Blue Devils side of the net. Point Chardon, the Hilltoppers lead 14-13. Tripodi sets to Eisenman. Eisenman pushes it over the net. Panea back set to Galati. We got a tip. And it falls for a point. 15-13, Chardon leads. Derzik sends the ball over. Bernstein with the up. Tripodi tries to push one over. Jacek block. Panea out to Evans. Evans is going to go a little deep on this one. Chardon's front line isn't all that tall, but they can jump. Between Evans and the Galati brothers, they get some air. There's Jermasik with the service. Free ball from Galati. Jermasik with the up. Sears sets to Tripodi. Panea back set to Galati. And he's going to get it to roll off of Jacek. 16-14, Chardon leads. We are in the third set of this Division II Region 7 championship. This is Ian Galati back to serve for Chardon. The Hilltoppers lead by 2. Sears up to Tripodi. Tripodi back sets to Jacek. Panea, he fires a hole. Is that a communication issue there?
I think he just thought it was out and it was in. A little bit over his head.
17-14, Chardon leads. Galati serves to Sears. Tripodi out to Jacek. There's Jake Schneider with the up. Evans gets another one to fall. 18-14, Chardon on top. And we've got a timeout, Blue Devils. Boy, we've seen some stretches here where both teams kind of put together a run, and then the other team loses focus. What happens in a match like that, or in a set like that?
It just is all about the mental game, and I feel like right now Independence is definitely down, and Chardon is obviously high, and all their fans are cheering. So I feel like it's just like it has to start on the court, and then eventually everything will come together.
Anna, we go back to the defense. We've seen a few holes now. Is that communication from the defense, or is it just a lack of focus?
I think it's probably both. I mean, they all have to be communicating. Like those deep corners we're struggling with, so we just have to be communicating.
Ian Galati back to serve for Chardon. The Hilltoppers lead this third set, 18-14. Snyder with the up. Tripodi back to Snyder. Panea outside to Evans. Evans with a nice hit attempt, but Sears delivers it back over the net. Evans gets another shot, and this one rolls off his fingers and out of bounds. Chardon leads 18-15. Independence to serve. Landon Jacek delivers it with the left hand. Panea out to Evans. Nice play there by Independence to keep things alive. Panea back to Evans, and Evans finds that hole in the middle of the Independence defense. Evans now back to serve. His team leading 19-15. Short serve, but Snyder is there. Back to Spicania, and that's a block by Panea, the first team all-region performer. And he's fired up. Both these squads feeling the intensity. 20-15. McDonald with the up, Tripodi to Snyder, Snyder in the middle. And that one falls for the Blue Devils. Never say never. Independence trails 20-16. Jamie Paniki back to serve for the Blue Devils. Short service, nice up by Derzik. Kirsch to Sears. Tripodi with the up to Snyder. Snyder looking for the corner. He goes long. Point Chardon. The Hilltoppers lead 21-16. Looking to take a 2-1 lead in this match. Time out, Chardon. I don't know if they were out of rotation or what was the cause there, but Chardon looking for a timeout here. That'll give us time to throw it back to our sponsor who made this broadcast possible. Thank you to Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. Welcome back to Independence High School for this Division II Region 7 championship match between the number 4 Chardon Hilltoppers and the number 5 Independence Blue Devils. Chardon won the first set. Independence bounced back with a win in the second. The Hilltoppers lead 21-16 here in the third. Panea goes outside to Kirsch. Kirsch into the block, but it goes out of bounds. Point for the Hilltoppers, who now lead 22-16. Short serve into the net. Point for the Blue Devils. They trail 22-17. Wyatt Snyder back to serve, looking to bring the Blue Devils back into this game. Free ball, it's going to go out of bounds. Point Independence. Crowd now getting back into it as the Blue Devils try to close the gap here in the second. I'm sorry, the third set. That's an ace for Snyder. Found a little hole in the Chardon defense. It's 22-19 now, Hilltoppers lead. Galati with the up. Panea to the middle to Galati. This one's gonna fall. Oh! Double hit.
Someone was in the net.
Net violation on Chardon. Point to the Blue Devil. It's 22-20. Panea goes to the outside again to Kirsch. Jamasik bats that one into the net. It's 23-20. Chardon leads. Panea back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Sears with the up. Kirsch delivers that one hard across the net. But Paniki is there, and that's a point for the Blue Devils. 23-21. Sonny Sears back to serve. Sonny Sears, an honorable mention all-region performer this season. Panea free ball. It's getting loud in here, folks. (23-22). Sears to serve. Nice up by Evans. Panea to Galati at the net. Tripodi sends it back over. There's Noah Galati sending a free ball to Independence. Tripodi to Jacek. Jacek with the right hand. Tripodi with the right hand. Panea out to Kirsch. Jamasik with the up. Sears delivers the set to the middle. Free ball by Tripodi. Panea back sets to Galati. Sears with the up. Tripodi to Jacek. Who hammers it home. Jacek ties up the third set. It's 23-23. Sears back to serve. Floater to Derzik. Evans with a free ball to the middle. Panea sends it back to Independence. Paniki with the up to Tripodi. And there's Jacek. Point Independence. 24-23, the Blue Devils lead. Timeout Chardon. Independence with the set point. They lead 24-23. They've reeled off 6 straight points. Pressure situation here, ladies. You've been in it. How do you handle this when you're at the service line?
I think you just have to kind of think about just like they're down, so you just have to keep applying pressure on them and they'll stay down.
I would probably take like a breath and just like relax yourself to get in the right mindset.
Here's that student section. They're loud. There's a bunch of them. They were pretty quiet earlier in the set. They have come alive just like the Blue Devil offense. Chardon now playing a little bit on its heels. 24-23, Sonny Sears trying to deliver Independence its second set win. Derzik up to the middle, Galati with the up to his brother, Galati. Bernstein with the up, Jacek! And he gets it to fall! Independence wins the second set. 25-23. The Blue Devils now lead the match 2-1. Back-to-back set wins. And this crowd is loud. that's a tough situation for Chardon when the crowd's going. Now you're trailing 2-1. The crowd's into it. What do you guys do for Chardon?
I would say just like go into your huddle and just like think about like, I don't know. I feel like just like go back out on the court and just like try to minimize as many errors as possible and just have good mindsets.
Landon Jacek with 5 kills in the second set. He had 4 in the first set, 1 in the second, so he's got double-digit kills already, and we have a lot of volleyball left to play. Sonny Sears with 5 kills in the first set. Joey Spicania with 6 in the second for the Blue Devils. Here we are, it's 2-1. Independence leads. It's a best of 5. Independence can close this match out with a win in the third. If Chardon wins, we're going to go to a sudden death 5th set. Winner takes all. That would only be a 15-point set. And it gets pretty intense.
It does.
Anna Jermasik coming in. You're now up 2-1. You guys have been in a situation like that on the girls' team where you're playing a great team, whether it's Lake Catholic or Magnificat, St. Joe's, whatever. When it goes back and forth like this, but then you take that set lead, what does that do for your confidence?
Well, it boosts our confidence. We have to stay strong as individuals and as teams. So we just have to, stay consistent throughout the match.
Independence leads 2-1. Chardon came out and won the first set. Independence jumped out to a huge lead in the second. Chardon rallied and cut its deficit to a manageable distance, but Independence did finish off that second set. And now the Blue Devils won back-to-back sets and lead 2-1. Once again, our broadcast is sponsored by Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. These broadcasts are made possible by our local businesses who support high school sports. It's great to see. It's great to give these kids this kind of environment where they can come play in a big game and have it broadcast for their friends and family. Ladies, you've had your games broadcast. How cool is it to go back and watch?
It's cool.
All right, here we go. Anna, if you're Chardon's coach, you're now trailing 2-1. What do you tell your team?
Yeah, you got to regain your focus, relax, and just try to minimize, the errors, but also look for spots on the court that are open.
Sophia, what do you think Coach Procopi has told her squad now that they have a 2-1 lead?
Just maintain their focus that they had in the last set, and I think their service was pretty good, so keep that up. And our front row was really aggressive, so I would keep that too.
I talked to Coach Procopius in the pregame show about Independence's serve because the 2 matches I saw, they had long service runs. So they've got a lot of guys that have been very successful serving the ball. How much does that help when your service takes them out of system?
It helps a lot because it gives you a guaranteed, it gives you a guarantee that they'll be out of system and their hits won't be as great as they can be.
That was Ian Galati on the kill to give Chardon a 1-0 lead. Joseph Evans on the serve. Tripodi to the outside to Eisenman. He hits that one into the net. It's 2-0 Chardon. Sears up to the middle. Jacek out to Jermasik. Panea to the inside. Oh, and there's Jacek on the block. We'll call that a kill for Landon Jacek. He is on fire. 2-1, Chardon leads. Joey Jermasik back to serve. And that's going to be a service error, just a bit outside. Missed that out of bounds line. 3-1, Chardon leads here in the 4th set. Independence holds a 2-1 advantage in the match. Derzik back to serve for Chardon. That's Sears up to Tripodi. And Jacek into the block of Hauser and Evans. And now Jackson returns the favor, and he blocks Evans for a point. Jacek back to serve. Independence trails 3-2. Outside to Galati. McDonald with the up. Tripodi back to the middle to Snyder. Nice free ball from both Snyder and Jacek to keep the ball alive. Panea to the outside to Evans. Evans takes it a little bit deep. Independence point, and we are all tied up. 3-3 in this fourth set. Evans with the up, Panea to the outside to Galati. Tripodi looking for Spicagna. Nope, he was looking for Snyder. Spicagna kind of jumped in the way, and Tripodi let him know about it. And that's what you do when you're an all-state performer. You tell your team when they make a mistake. Somebody has to step up as a leader, and Christian Tripodi did that. Galati with the serve. Hilltoppers leading 4-3. We've got a double hit on the Blue Devils. Chardon leads 5-3. Galati serves. Sears on the up. Tripodi to Eisenman. Eisenman with another service hit air into the net. Some frustration showing there. You just got to shake that off and move on to the next play. Galati drops that one in. Did I see what I think I saw?
I'm thinking I saw it too.
That looked like Snyder hit it off his hands and then off his face. I think Independence got away with a four-hitter there. Spicagna on the block. Point, Independence. Yeah, I think the Blue Devils were a little bit fortunate there, right, Anna?
Yeah.
Any way you can get it. You're in a regional championship. You won't complain how you score a point. Paniki back to serve with the Blue Devils trailing 6-4. Evans with the free ball. Paniki with the up to Tripodi. On to Spicagna. He goes too far into the corner. 7-4, Chardon leads. Evans to serve for Chardon. Paniki with the up to Tripodi. Back set to Snyder. Evans with the up. Panea serves out to Kirsch, and that's blocked by Spicagna and Tripodi. Kirsch tries again. He drops it in. Great up by Wyatt Snyder. Nice job by the Independence defense. Hauser out to Kirsch. Kirsch with the free ball to McDonald. Tripodi slaps it over the net. Oh, and a misplay by the Toppers. That's a point for Independence. Chardon leads 7-5. Wyatt Snyder to serve for Independence. Jermasic in for McDonald. Derzik with the up. Panea goes deep to the outside to Kirsch, and that's blocked by Spicagna. 7-6 now, Chardon leads. Snyder still serving for Independence. I'll give a shout out to Independence volleyball player Ava Merrick for delivering stats to us after each set. Sears with a nice up. Tripodi saves it, and we've got a free ball. Coming right back Independence's way, and it falls out of bounds. We're all tied up, 7-7. Snyder to serve. We got Galati taking that first hit. Spicagna up to Tripodi. Spicagna gives a try. Galati with the up. Panea out to Kirsch. Kirsch into the block. Spicagna finds the corner this time. The crowd going wild. It's 8-7, Independence. Snyder back to serve. Galati up to Panea, out to Kirsch. Sonny Sears to Tripodi, and there's Spicagna again. Count it. Joey Spicagna has been money in this fourth set. 9-7, Independence leads. Blue Devils hoping to close out this match with the win in the fourth set. There's a service error by Snyder. He's not happy about it. Bernstein in for Snyder. Playing that back row spot for Snyder. Independence's back row is Bernstein, Paniki, and Sears. Nate Sosinski in to serve for Chardon. The lefty. Tripodi gets it back to the middle. Jamasic. Here comes Galati out of the middle. Nice up by Tripodi, and there's Spicagna. Joey Spicagna. He gives Independence a 10-8 lead. Ten to 8, Independence on top in the fourth set. The Blue Devils lead the match 2-1. Sears to serve. Evans with the up. Derzic out to Kirsch. Free ball comes. Paniki sends it right back over. Panea. Galati blocked by Jacek. Landon Jacek on the block. It's 11-8 Independence. Oh, using the net tape. Well, I think we're even on those bad calls because that was a double hit on the first one. Hit his hand and then his face, so we're even. Nice hit there by Kirsch. Kirsch delivers a kill. Point Chardon. The Hilltoppers trail 11-9. This broadcast presented by Christopher Toole and Manufacturing. Always great to see the support out of local businesses showing support for their high school sports teams. And this is a historic contest. It's the first boys volleyball match that Ohio Varsity ever has live streamed. And it's the first regional championship for both schools. Point Independence. The Blue Devils lead 12-9. Cubby Tripodi back to serve. Tripodi, an All-Ohio honorable mention and first team All-Region performer this season. Galati can't get that one over. It's 13-9 Independence. You know, we've seen both teams when they're on the bad side of a run, they get quiet, their heads hang a little. That's exactly opposite of what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
How do you get back in? Oh, look at Eisenman. Eisenman uses the foot to keep a ball alive, and it leads to a Blue Devil point. Sam Eisenman. There's a timeout, Chardon. We saw earlier in this set, Eisenman hit two into the net, but that time he used his foot to keep a ball alive, turned out into a, and that's why it's so important to keep your head in the match, right?
Yeah.
I'm losing my voice. You guys are gonna have to take over. I can't keep doing it. It's so exciting, and then you hear the crowd and you gotta talk over them, and I don't have anything left. 14-9, Independence leads. The Blue Devils can put it away with a win in the fourth set. Anna, what's Chardon talking about?
You know, they're probably talking about how their communication needs to improve. You know, there's a lot of dropped balls and probably making smarter shots instead of trying to just hit the ball. You know, like use your power, you know?
Right. Sophia, these are both first-year teams. How impressed are you with their ability to string together some rallies and set up their offense and the way they play defense?
I think it's really impressive actually because like they're both so scrappy and they're going for everything to try and keep the ball alive. So.
Yeah, when you consider most of these guys have never played the sport competitively, it's pretty impressive. There's a service error by Tripodi. It's 14-10, Independence leads. Nolan Kirsch back to serve. He's an all-region performer this season. Tripodi to Jadzik. Landon Jadzik. I believe that's 13 kills for Jadzik in the match. He's got that devastating left hand, folks. Jermasik serves, a lot of top spin on that ball. Pinnell back serves to Galati, but Sonny Sears is there. Tripodi to Jadzik. Looking for a hole, he doesn't find it. Pineo was there. Sears out to Tripodi from behind the 10-foot line. Pineo with the up. There's Derzik out to Galati. Sears up to Tripodi. Here's Wyatt Snyder. Kirsch with the up. Pinea out to Evans. Tipped by Latz Jadzik. Jadzik with a 360 turnaround to get that ball over the net. Here comes Galati, tipped by Snyder. Point Chardon. 15-11, Independence leads. We are in the fourth set. Independence leads 2-1. The Blue Devils looking for their second straight upset in this regional tournament. Chardon looking for its third. I'm sorry, it already has two. They are the favorite here today, being the number 4 seed. Independence is number 5. Kirsch to Evans, into the middle. Eisenman got to that ball, but just couldn't get it up in the air. It's 15-12, Independence leads. Ian Galata on the serve for Chardon. Point goes back to Independence. Anyone catch what they called?
I think they were out of rotation, so the wrong person was serving.
So a rotation mistake cost the Hilltoppers a point. I think they're still working on the score. 16-11, Independence leads. If that holds, it's 16-11. Landon Jadzik will be serving for Independence. Referee and Chardon's coaching staff still discussing the events of that last point. Still trying to figure it out, but it does look like it's Independence's point. So Landon Jadzik back to serve for the Blue Devils. Here comes Snyder to the middle. It's Kirsch with the up. Pinea back sets to Galati. Galati with an error, and that's going to be a point for the Blue Devils. You don't see too many of those roll off of Ian Galati's hands. He's been a hammer for Hilltoppers. But that one went Independence's way. Oh, Jadzik with a service error. 17-12, Independence leads. Chardon with the serve, trying to climb back into the set and the match. That is Ian Galati back to serve for Chardon. McDonald with the up. Tripodi looking for Spicana behind the 10-foot line. Nice up by Kirsch. Pinea out to Evans. Evans into the block of Spicana. Tripodi back to Snyder. Galati with the up. Pinea digs it out, and there's Evans. Again into the block of Spicana. Tripodi back sets to Eisenman. Eisenman into the net. 17-13, Independence leads. Ian Galati still serving for Chardon. Sears with the up to Tripodi. Tripodi to the middle to Snyder. Galati with the up. Pinea out to Evans. Got a tip. And that's going to go out of bounds. Point for Chardon. 17-14. Independence going to call a timeout. That'll give us a chance to recognize our sponsor, Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. Welcome back to Independence High School for this Division II Region 7 championship match. Independence holds a 2-1 advantage and the lead here in the fourth set. The Blue Devils lead Chardon 17-14. Ian Galati back to serve for the Hilltoppers. Sears with the up. Here's Tripodi out to Spicagna. Spicagna with a nice dig by Jake Schneider. But Galati can't chase it down. Point Blue Devils. Independence leads 18-14. The Blue Devils closing in on a regional championship and an appearance in the state Final Four. Jamie Paniki on the serve for Independence. Panea tries to sneak one past McDonald, but Khalil's there. Spicagna! Into the block of Hauser, but the ball falls and hits the floor. Independence leads 19-4. Paniki on the jump serve. Oh, it hits the net tape, but comes back to the Independence side. Point Chardon. Joseph Evans back to serve for the Hilltoppers. McDonald with the up. Tripodi to Spicagna. Spicagna goes to the far corner. Snyder's there. Kirsch sends this one out of bounds. 20-15. Independence in the lead. Here's Wyatt Snyder to serve. Evans, Panea, Spicagna sends it right back. Galati with an up. There's Schneider. Sears with the up for Independence. There's Spicagna going back corner. Derrick got a hand on it, but it went out of bounds. Independence is 4 points away from a regional title in the first year of the program's existence. Panea out to Kirsch. Kirsch, he keeps Chardon alive. 21-16. Nolan Kirsch delivers the hammer for the Hilltoppers. Nate Szynski in for Hauser. He will serve for the Hilltoppers. Independence leads 21-16. They also hold a 2-1 advantage in the match. Paniki with the up to Tripodi. Tripodi over, and he gets it to fall. It's 22-16. Independence 3 points away from a regional title. Sonny Sears back to serve. Hard serve right over the net. There's Galati with a free ball over to Sears. Sears to Tripodi. Here comes Jadzik. Joseph Evans with the up. And here comes Kirsch. Kirsch into the net. 23-16. Independence leads. Sonny Sears looking for point 24. Evans with the up. Panea to Kirsch. Nice up by Bernstein. Jermasic to Tripodi, who sends it over the net. Panea to the middle, and there's Jackson on the block! Independence, match point. It's 24-16. Sonny Sears looking to deliver the knockout blow. And there it is, an ace! The Blue Devils are your regional champions! Independence wins 3-1. The Blue Devils are going to the state Final Four. gentlemen, Independence is your 2023 Division II Region 7 champion. The Blue Devils are now celebrating with their student section. We're going to have our awards presentation momentarily, and then we'll be back with Landon Jacek and head coach Lexi Prokopius. But first, Anna, give me your recap. What did Independence do well enough to win today?
I mean, their momentum and their energy was, really high. They all communicated and they all, went.
Haley, go ahead. Give us your analysis.
I just think they maintained their pressure on Chardon, and they continued letting Chardon make their errors instead of Independence making errors.
When you see this team, how far it's come from that first match a month and a half ago to what they did today, how impressed are you?
It's crazy. They've improved so much since the first game, and it shows, obviously.
Going to a state Final Four, you've been there. The girls' team has been there. You guys know what it's like. What kind of advice are you going to give to the boys this week?
Just pretend like it's any other game and continue playing with pressure and, just continue playing, their game.
Anna?
Yeah, just make sure that they're just, ready for it, but also excited and, just it's any other game.
That was an impressive performance by both teams. They both had their moments. And Independence made enough plays down the stretch to win it. Great win by them, and they advanced to the Final Four, but we've got to give a big shout out to Chardon for number one getting here. They had to upset a number 2 and a number 3 seed to get here, and then they ran up against the buzzsaw that is the Independence Blue Devils. But what did you like out of what you saw from Chardon?
I loved how much they showed that they wanted to continue playing and they wanted to fight for every play and not let the ball fall to the ground.
All right. Well, folks, before I turn this over, we're going to have an interview with Berkshire coach Tim Persick, who saw both of these teams during the regular season. Before I do that, I want to thank our 3 Independence girls volleyball players, Sophia Pickard, Haley Wilson, and Anna Jermasic, for helping us out today. Great job, ladies. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Now, Tim Persick, head coach at Berkshire. Tim, you saw both of these teams this season. Were you surprised to see the way this match went tonight?
Well, you can definitely tell it's playoff volleyball. Everybody's diving everywhere, making plays that don't normally happen in games. And so it was just a fantastic match. After two sets, I didn't know who was going to win. There was no dominant team until this 4th set. And I got to hand it to Indy. They upset VASJ, who I would have figured to be the favored team in the region. And then they came here and they, I think, upset Chardon, who probably had, on paper anyway, had a little bit of a lead over them. So kudos to Indy for pulling it out and doing such an awesome job. All the way around, their hitters in the middle. I don't remember them hitting that hard in the middle of the season. I would have been hiding behind the bench a little bit more, but they were hitting it hard.
How much of that was just the intensity of the match?
Oh, absolutely every bit of it is. When playoffs, it's one and done. You win and you continue, and when those stakes are there, everybody plays better, and that's awesome to see.
Obviously, you wish you were in this game.
Right.
You came up one short, but when you look at just the growth of boys volleyball, how impressed are you? You've been around a long time. You coached the girls in multiple schools. But seeing just the caliber of play, are you surprised by that so early in the sport?
Not entirely. I mean, it's if you have good athletes, you can adapt them pretty well, and with some strategic shifts and things like that. But the intensity of this match here, if this is an indicator of what's to come, boys volleyball is going to take over spring sports.
I'll tell you, I know the kids like it, and you see the teams are coming out of the woodwork. They're coming out from everywhere, and that bodes well for the future. I think you're going to see more and more of it. We'll kind of get that rolling into the CVC as more and more schools get it, and once the conferences start to have it, it's just going to blow up from there.
Oh, I think so too. And it's a bit of a, you know, I grew up playing boys volleyball, and nobody knew that boys played volleyball.
Right. you Europeans were always a little different.
Right. So it is kind of cool for me to see this blossom the way it has in the last few years, and we've been at it for 3 years at Berkshire. So it's kind of awesome to see the growth, and you know, you look around the gym, all the fans embracing it. You know, every match as we went through playoffs, the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger. Not for the obvious reasons, but the intensity of the game, and that's what I think is pretty awesome.
And then, you know, some congratulations for your family, since Apollo was the regional player of the year.
Yes, that's pretty awesome.
I'd say, right? What did he do well? I mean, he's been playing for a while, though. I mean, he grew up with you.
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
Well, you would think my kids would all be all-stars, but he's just started 3 years ago. Before that, he didn't have any interest. He's all soccer, but you know, I'm impressed over the last 3 years. He was our only 3-year player at Berkshire, and he just put in the work, and every year he just got a little bit better, and it was awesome to see him recognized. I couldn't vote for him, so I'm putting in that disclaimer. The other coaches voted for him, and I think that was pretty awesome. And the entire Berkshire team, most of them are first-year players or very little experience last year, a lot more this year. And they're picking it up. So I think these rivalries that are developing in games like this are just going to blossom into bigger and bigger things.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then when you see this, I mean, this is what gets people excited.
Yes.
And so now, you know, Independence and Chardon and Berkshire, the teams that had that success, they're just going to get better much quicker than other teams because everyone wants to come out now. And
yeah. Oh, for sure. And this is my I told you so moment to everybody who said boys volleyball is, you know, can't compete with basketball or anything like that. I think that this is an indication of how intense it is. And I look forward to see the additional new teams that'll come out next year, because every school should have a boys volleyball team.
Yeah, and you know what I think kids are really going to like about it is it's so fast.
Fast and intense, because you can't hide anybody on the court. If you're on the court, you are in the spotlight. And you got to keep a ball in the air, so you can't like slow the game down. So like you can't make any minor mistakes because they get magnified on the court. And I think this is what is impressive, like you said earlier, about how well they're playing now. But also, you got to put the work in to have that kind of coordination to do that. So kudos to these players. I mean, they did a fantastic job. There's nobody that walked into this match. Everybody had to fight their way to it. And so it's just an awesome site. Both teams have awesome stories about their seasons, and Indy's going to continue on into the next round, which is fantastic. Somebody who is a team that in Division II that is not like one of the powerhouse teams. It's a new team, and I think that's, again, a testimony to the sport. It could be intense. This was playoff volleyball, back and forth the whole time until the very end there.
It was a ton of fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I lost my voice in like the first set, and like my throat's killing me now, but you just get into it, and then the crowd gets into it, and you've got to talk over the crowd. But I don't know if you know anything about the Columbus teams that they're going to play. I think it's DeSales and...
Is it DeSales? Well, St. Charles and DeSales.
St. Charles and DeSales. The winner of that. I couldn't remember the other one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, Columbus and Point South in Ohio tend to have powerhouse teams. None of them are. These schools have had boys teams for decades, and so they have feeder systems. They have club teams that kind of intermingle with all their players. So it's going to be a test of Indy, but they're not showing many weaknesses here. Chardon's a great team. They had a lot of power hitters, and there was an awful lot of defense on the part of Indy to keep the ball in the air and the plays alive. So.
And I think that's going to be the key going into those teams that have far more experience.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play the same type of defense, clean up some of the holes that you had today.
Yeah.
But then you definitely need Landon Jacek and Wyatt Snyder and Joey Spicagna to continue to do what they did and hammer that ball home and do those things.
Yeah.
But what a great experience, regardless of who would have won today. Just for these boys to go down and be trailblazers, it's a ton of fun.
Well, and I want to extend a comment on that. Nobody lost in this gym. I mean, one group advanced, but the stories that I've heard from Juan Pinella, the exchange student from Argentina, no prior experience in volleyball. He's leading the Chardon team as a setter. You know, and then you probably have very similar stories on the side of Indy. And, you know, Indy won. They did get the bigger trophy, so to speak, but both teams left here with stories, memories, intense competition that they're going to think about for the rest of their lives. It's these kind of games are those 2 hours for the rest of your life type of moments.
Absolutely. You know? No, I agree with you there. But all right, Tim, I appreciate you jumping on. Congrats on your team's success and your son's success, and good luck in your future.
Thank you.
And now we should be just moments away from Lexi Prokopius, head coach of Independence, and Landon Jatzik from joining us. I'm going to take a quick break as we wait for those gentlemen, and then we'll be right back. It'll give us a chance to throw to our sponsor, and we'll be back momentarily with our interview subjects. 3-1, and we'll play in the state Final Four next week at Wittenberg University. Joining us right now are head coach Lexi Prokopius and Landon Jatzik from the Independence Blue Devils. Coach, I'm going to start with you. What are you feeling right now? That was pretty freaking awesome.
I have no words. I'm just like shaking. My adrenaline's going. I can't believe it. I'm so proud of this team.
You were on the first Independence team to win a regional title to go to the state Final Four. How does that moment compare to this one?
Honestly, this one's a lot better just because I know, like, I worked with these boys all season, and, like, I could show that, like, my hard work paid off and their hard work paid off and everything, so.
Were there any moments during the match where you were like, uh-oh, or, you know, Chardon went on a few big runs and you had to be, oh, wow, they're pretty darn good, and we've got some holes in our defense. What did you do to clean that up and keep the guys focused?
I told them that they are way better and they need to figure it out, because sometimes when they would get in those holes, they looked defeated, and then I was like, guys, we have either the lead or we are the better team, so we need to act like it. But
in your opinion, what was the key today? Obviously, you scored more points than they did, but what was the key to doing that?
The key was shutting like their best hitters down, getting a pass, and Landon, who rocked this game.
There were moments where Landon took the game over. There were moments that Joey Spicagna took the game over. Cubby, I mean, everybody had their moment where, you know, if you don't make that play, maybe the game changes. How key was it that everyone just went out and did their job and picked themselves up and did what they had to do?
I always reiterate to the boys that it's a team sport, so whatever you can put on the team or whatever you can put on the floor, always bring it. And they did that today, and everyone showed up when they needed to, and it was awesome.
Last one for you. You're headed to the state Final Four. You've got a short week to get ready. What's that going to encompass? What are you going to do to prepare these kids to face either St. Charles or DeSales?
Yeah. I am honestly going to work hard on defense because that was a little rocky today, and I'm just going to get them focused for the emotional steps because, like I said, like I've been there and I know how it feels to be in a big gym, bigger audience. So I'm going to get them emotionally and physically prepared.
So now you get to add another regional championship medal to the collection at home. I appreciate you joining us after the match. Go celebrate with your friends and family and all your fans. And Landon, on to you. Landon, you've been in some big soccer games. You've been in some big basketball games. How did this game compare to any of those?
I mean, this is the farthest we've been, so, like, I was excited. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Can you ask the question one more time?
Yeah, how did this match compare to those big big basketball and big soccer games that you've played in?
I mean, like, soccer, basketball, it's someone's got to take over. But in volleyball, the entire team has to work together to take over. And this was very exciting.
Talking with the guys before, what did you guys think was going to happen today?
We thought it was going to be a close match because we came watch them play. We lost to Berkshire early in the season. They beat them 3-1. But we came in and we played how we should play as a team.
There were moments where you just dominated. I mean, that left hand is vicious, and you did a 360 one time and came back with a kill. Just some impressive stuff. Were you conscious of all that, or are you just in the flow of the game?
I mean, we've been working on it all week and the entire year, actually. Me and Cubby, we've had some up and down talking, but today our talking was on point, and that's how I converted.
Wyatt, Joey Spicagna, I mean, you guys dominated the front for the most part. They had some pretty good hitters, too, so it went back and forth at times, but you guys took that momentum and really never wanted to let it go. How do you guys all work together to make that happen?
As soon as, a point's dead, we move on to the next one. We don't worry about it, work together, and get the next point.
At the beginning of the year, did you think this was possible?
It was in the back of my head, yeah, but we're here, so.
High school sports, you get to play in a state Final Four. How cool is that?
That's amazing. I never thought it would happen, but.
How much are you going to lean on the girls program to get you ready mentally for what you're going to encounter at state?
I mean, all the girls that graduated last year, they were 3-time state Final Four. They've been here all week helping us because they're done with college, so we're using them to our advantage.
Outstanding. Landon, impressive performance today. Every time I've come out and seen you guys, you do it. So it's consistent. You've done it all year. Congratulations on that, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Landon Jacek here, one of the heroes of the day for the Blue Devils, who went on to defeat Chardon 3-1 to win the Division II Region 7 title. And that's going to do it for us here at Independence High School. Before we go, I want to give a shout-out to the 3 Independence volleyball players that came in and provided some color analysis for us. Haley, Anna, and Sophia. Big shout-out to A.J. Marcinko on the camera, Jackson Hare, our production assistant, our producer Peter Tellup from LPV Productions, and of course, none of this would have been possible without our sponsor, Christopher Tool and Manufacturing. You can learn more about them at christophertool.com. And finally, a big shout out to Independence Athletic Director Annie McGee for getting us in early and letting us get set up. This was an outstanding event, a fun match to watch and cover. Glad we could bring it to you at home. And next week, I'll be down watching the Independence Blue Devils play for a state title. So I didn't think that was going to be possible earlier in the year, but here we are, and they're playing out of their minds. So congratulations to the Blue Devils, and of course, congratulations to Chardon for getting to this match and putting up quite a fight. I think both programs have a lot of success in their futures. But for Ohio Varsity, I'm Steve Hare, and signing off.